Welcome back, all my loyal patriots and nationalists of Ireland. Today we have another crazy news story coming out. This is Taoiseach Micheál Martin can't explain the unused €120,000 scanner that they bought, and of course now it's just been left to rot and lose money, lose taxpayer money. We have 3 videos to react to today, so make sure to stick around, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. This is going to be the first one from Gript Media. Let's see what they have to say about it. So let's hear it.
I don't have the explanation behind the scanner, which was 8 years ago. It doesn't need an explanation, and we need clarity, and people need to...
It doesn't need an explanation. Well, you're in charge of the country. One, it does need an explanation. What is he talking about? What the hell? And he said he doesn't have an explanation that was from 8 years ago. How would you not know something that happened 8 years ago? This is ludicrous again.
Behind the scanner, which was 8 years ago, it doesn't need an explanation, and we need clarity, and people need to be accountable for what transpired.
Taoiseach, on the same issue, you've obviously been in politics for many decades now, and you've seen many issues like this arise over the years, including the Leinster House printer, and there was a very similar situation where it couldn't fit into the building and so on. Does it tire you that these issues keep arising, and do you think that a kind of a fundamental overhaul of efficiency is needed, not just in any one department but across the public sector more broadly?
A very rigorous focus on value for money. That is why we have to control Auditor General. That's why we have the Public Accounts Committee, and the sooner we establish the Public Accounts Committee to go through forensically with the Controller and Auditor General these issues, the better. It does anger people without question that expenditures of this type happen with no clear function or rationale for it. And of course, it's taxpayers' money. It belongs to the people, and it has to be spent wisely.
They're just a free-for-all in spending. It seems like in the government, it's like a free-for-all. If you were to spend somebody else's money and mess up, maybe €100, €200, €1,000, they'd probably sue you, and it would be a whole big thing in your life. But if the government do it, they get celebrated, people get promoted, and it's just gone. Who cares? Nobody cares. Like, this is ridiculous.
And good value for money always the key objective in spending that money. Thank you.
Ridiculous. Oh my God. We need a Doge. We need a Doge quickly, like they have in the US. Donald Trump. Shout out to Elon Musk and Donald Trump. We need a Doge exactly like that, guys. A sort of a underlying place that we can check who's spending what in the country, because things like that are just going to keep happening. Crazy. So here we have a second video about it, guys, from Virgin Media News. Let's hear what they have to say about it.
It has emerged that in 2017, the gallery bought what is called a lead scanner. Effectively, this is a scanning machine which they say is relatively routine for institutions like museums and galleries. It can effectively examine works for possible cracks or any kind of defects without needing to cause any damage to the matter themselves. However, although they put out the purchase 8 years ago, it would transpire that machine has never been used or transported to the National Gallery because of concerns that you would need to have lead lining in any room where it's to operate, and because of structural concerns around whether it's possible for the gallery to have a room that has lead lining, given some of the structural concerns that exist around the integrity of the building itself. This has been criticised today going into...
Wait a second. They should have known that before they purchased it for $120,000. Oh my God. Who's doing logistics in this flipping company? In this flipping government? I call it a company. I shouldn't even call it a company. Oh my God. Who the hell is doing the logistics? Who's doing the flipping background to buying this stuff? I mean, this is just a free-for-all. There's a free-for-all in crime. There's a free-for-all in illegal people coming into the country murdering our citizens. Then we have illegal spending. I mean, there's nothing that's done correctly. This is insane.
Into the cabinet by the Taoiseach and by the Taoiseach as well.
Jesus.
I think it's incomprehensible. It's very difficult to explain that, why someone would embark upon the purchase of a scanner that they didn't have a facility to locate it in. So I think it's up to the agency to explain that.
I think my reaction to this is the same as the reaction that every person will have right across this country, which is one of absolute fury. It's really important that the government is briefed by the Minister on this matter today. I thank him for bringing it to our attention. And then it's really important that the people who are paid to run these institutions come out and talk to the Irish people in relation to these issues.
Yeah, we do have a statement.
Absolutely, they should come out and talk to the people, because we don't know what's going on. 120,000 here. There was millions spent years ago, like he said, Ben Scallon said on Grip Media, for another scanner, another printer that wasn't able to fit into the room. Like, just complete idiocracy. You think it's like a movie. You think it's like one of those comedies, like a sitcom. You know what I mean? Like, complete bullshit from head to toe.
Today from the National Gallery of Ireland, which says that it did buy the X-ray machine at a value of €124,000 under a state-funded scheme. They say that the main component of the X-ray bulb remains with the supplier, who we understand is in London, because of the gallery's concerns and its inability to try and operate that up until now. They say
so it's in London for the last 8 years because of the concerns of lead. Like, what?
The gallery has been working with relevant experts and stakeholders to bring the system into operation and has identified a preferred solution.
Yeah, that is the biggest joke I've ever heard. I mean, these stories, I'm going to be honest with you lads, like, these stories keep getting worse and worse. Like, they just keep getting worse and worse, okay? I mean, every time you think that they've raised the standard of stupidity and idiocracy and bureaucracy and just everything, red tape, nonsense, BS, they just raise the standard again. I mean, it's just shocking how much crazy spending is taking place. And last but not least, we have a video from News Talk, Kieran Cuckedy, okay, or however you say his name. People always shout at me for saying his name wrong. I don't care about this guy's name. This guy's a propaganda merchant. They just dish out propaganda to the people. Him, Pat Kenny, the Hard Shoulder. First of all, the show name is shit. The Hard Shoulder. What does that even mean? It has nothing to do with anything, guys. Complete stupidity. But yeah, we have News Talk here today, and we have Kieran Cuddley. Let's see, does he actually side with the people, or does he once again be a mouth puppet for the people, okay?
You can be sure to
for the government, I mean, okay? Because obviously we know that they're flipping completely corrupt. They're completely just a mouthpiece of the government. There hasn't been a story yet in the last year where I think that these people have gone against the government in any way. Like, it's just insane, guys. You know, to find a story that they disagree with on the government is crazy. And for those who don't know, okay, the media should be only there to critique the government. It should be there to actually expose scandals and corruption in the government. Now, they work for Virgin Media, they work for flipping the News Talk, RT, they all work for the government. I mean, how crazy is that? Just so that they can get a pay rise and move on higher up in the scale of things, right? Crazy stuff.
You can be sure there'll be coverage on the show today as well about this scanner bought by the National Gallery for €120,000. That is too big to fit inside the building, if you can believe it. So expensive that the Taoiseach Simon Harris said he was furious, no less, on his way into Cabinet this morning. He also made sure to point out that this was the third spending scandal that has emerged from the same department, the Department of Arts, Sports and Tourism.
I would shut down that department for like a year and do like a deep dive audit into all the shit that's going on there, because it sounds like nothing is even being reviewed there. I actually applied for a grant. I didn't get anything, guys, to help, you know, publish my own news media from the, you know, Department of Tourism or whatever up there in Dublin. I remember last year, I think it was like you get like €300 a week or €400 a week to kind of help promote your specific art. People they spent that nonsensely. Like, they were giving it to people that play like the guitar and just bullshit. Like, how does that advance the culture of Ireland? If I'm here talking to thousands of people in my country, promoting good things, promoting different things, music, stuff like that, why wouldn't I get the funding over another guy? It's just ridiculous. The spending from this department is a joke, lads.
We had months of RTE financial mismanagement that we had to wade through. We had the Arts Council IT system, and now this. Now, I did notice he stopped there. That was the end of his sentence. Why he didn't mention the OPW bike shed, the OPW wall around the WRC, or the OPW security hut, I wonder. Might it be because Catherine Martin, Green Party, was the Minister in the Department of Arts, Sports and Tourism, and it's very easy for Simon Harris to throw Catherine Martin under the bus.
I think Catherine Martin's from Galway. Just another terrible councillor. Finally, Kieran Cuckoldry has grown some balls. Good job, man. He's finally saying the OPW shed, the flippin', you know, the bike shed. He's finally kind of siding with the people rather than just flippin' kissing the ass of the government. Like, this is This is just crazy.
With response.
Finally, this is the first time I've ever heard. This is the first time I've heard him in the last year actually talk about stuff that the average person in the country is talking about, and not just what he's told to talk about on his stupid news station.
PW, why? His Fine Gael colleague, Patrick O'Donovan, still a member of government. In fact, the new Minister for Arts, Sports and Tourism. For those keeping score, in Patrick O'Donovan's old department, the OPW bike shed, that's worth 3 scanners. The OPW wall is worth 4.5 scanners. And the OPW security hut is worth 11 scanners. Simon Harris didn't mention them. Nothing to see here. Don't.
Wow, finally, Kieran, you've grown some balls. Finally, I might even come on your show and roast you. We all know Kieran's a bit of a nerd, guys, a little bit of a Poindexter. As Ninja Knight says, you wouldn't pick him in a 5-a-side, you wouldn't pick him in a 10-a-side for the footy game, but like, this guy is finally growing some balls and, you know, talking against the bullshit that's coming out of the government. Like, come on. Like, how much shit does it take for you to actually expose and talk sense? You know what I mean? Finally.
Didn't mention them. Nothing to see here. Don't look at what Patrick O'Donovan was responsible for. We are busy pushing Catherine Martin under the bus. He didn't mention the National Children's Hospital either, worth about 20,000 scanners in the National Gallery. Now, what serving politician is responsible for that financial blunder, I wonder? So, I'm all for Simon Harris talking about financial mismanagement and having greater scrutiny of public spending. What I'm not a fan of is him trying to distract us with issues in one department when there are issues that he needs to answer for and his Fine Gael colleagues need to answer for. Greater questions than the questions over a €120,000 scanner. I mean, a 300,000 euro bike shed, a €1.4 million hut, and a €500,000 boundary wall, for example.
Finally. Oh, I think hell has frozen over, lads. What has happened that now Kieran Cudley is finally talking sense? I mean, this is only going to last for one day. I'm sure he's going to go back to his old ways tomorrow, you know, siding with the left Marxist liberal propaganda artists. I guarantee that's what's going to happen tomorrow. But at least for today, Kieran Cudley finally talked some sense. Jesus, like, yeah, why aren't they talking about the bike shed, the wall, the flipping, the hut? That hut cost 1.4 million. Why do they even need a security hut? Like, you guys have nothing anyway. It's like bullshit. Security hut. Like, they have nothing to rob. They're flipping. Anyways, it's ridiculous, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe. I can't do it without your all help, without everyone's help. So make sure to hit that join button in the underneath the video and become a member. I have a WhatsApp group now where we discuss different ideas, guys. It's amazing. Make sure to sign up for that. Of course, you know, we obviously have the Patreon as well, and we have some new merch as well. County Gains Gang, Jacked Mode merch. You'll love it, guys. It's clean merch, but yeah, unbelievable. I find that any sort of money scandal that comes to the government, I mean, forget about, like I said, forget about terrorist activity, forget about flipping, you know, all the, you know, illegal immigrants and illegal stuff coming in and killing people. Forget about all that stuff. If we just talk about money and economy, that's my bread and butter, guys. I love talking about that. Massive overspending. We should have an Elon Musk-esque character come in, maybe Declan Ganley, one of these people in government, you know, that isn't maybe even part of the government, that comes and single-handedly cuts through the BS, guys, cuts through all the crazy spending cut through the crazy spending that's been happening in the last few years. I would love to see that. Okay, I would absolutely love to see that, guys. Okay, hopefully you enjoy that. I love you all. Stay free, and I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Peace.